violation at 124 North Lake Street. This is here, public hearing.
This is the public hearing for 124 North Lake. It has to do with debris in the yard. We have some photos to show you. This is basically the same thing we did 2 years ago with the same property owner. Got to the end 2 years ago and cleaned up. These are pictures that were taken today. There hasn't been anything done. We've been sending notices for the last 6 months. So it's just a bunch of debris scattered throughout the yard. First notice went to him on April 23rd of this year for this tree, and there hasn't been much progress on it since. I guess we're here tonight to see what you guys want to do and if you want to move forward and beat the situation and try to clean up the area.
So there hasn't been any contact, is the reason why there hasn't been any progress?
Not to myself.
No, this is a chronic problem. This house has been...
Yeah, 2 years ago we had a public hearing scheduled and we cleaned it up the night before the public hearing.
I drove by there today too, and it looked like they actually had some sort of a burn pile in their backyard. Is that legal? Have a burn pile in
I
there?
don't think you can have a burn pile unless you have it in a cover.
Do you want to go through all the lights or just do one at a time?
Probably one at a time, or several public hearings, so.
Any other information on 124 North Lake?
Not for myself.
This is a public hearing, so if there are any members of the audience that wish to speak on 124 North Lake Street, now will be the time to speak. Commissioners, any further questions on this item? Okay, we'll close this public hearing and go on to the next public hearing. This is to hear comment on blight violation of 204 East Oak Street.
This was a property that the owners had been having a construction project on, and in June there was some stuff scattered throughout the yard. Since then, the property owner has cleaned up the area. There was large mounds of dirt and construction debris throughout the yard, which he has neatly put into one pile now and cleaned up the yard, and everything looks in compliance to what the notices have asked him to do.
I just have one question about that property. It's been an ongoing construction project for a number of years. Is there a building permit up to date?
Yes.
Building permits been kept up to date. There was one period of time, about 3 months, that it was lax. We didn't get a chance to renew it at the time of the said violation that, city or municipalities dealt out. There was an active building permit. No one bothered to check to see the material that was piled there is exacting material that's going into that house. I've got a stack of pictures this tall of what we've been doing here, if anybody would care to see. So, and this is why I'm here, because I need a determination. Who determines what is or isn't building material? What you guys see and what I've been using are basically the same thing, but your interpretation and what I'm doing with that are apples and oranges. It's just a total opposite end of the spectrum. So at by a little bit of an expense, and lost time at work, I've been up here 4 times now, hauling material back, 4 hours away. Then I'm gonna have to haul that same material back up there in order to finish and do completion.
Well, I just asked if the building permit was current. So.
No, but I mean, when I asked this to Mr. Remkus, your blight enforcement officer, or whatever his official capacity is, he said, here's where I need to get a determination what is or isn't building material.
And maybe to add to that too, I guess this is a blight issue. I guess the NSU is our building official as far as what can be used for, restoring the building. That would be through Dennis. As far as the blight issue, it's really the storage of those materials on site. And he has done a nice job of cleaning up and getting things tarped.
So Mr. Hewitt is very well versed in exactly what I've been doing within the building, the type of materials, how it's being utilized. And I said, I've got pictures. I'd be more than free to pass them amongst you, and you can take a look and see if it improves your approval.
I think it was just the storage of materials on the site, and he has since cleaned those up. And I think our determination of looking out there is, it's in an orderly fashion, and he's done his due diligence to get it cleaned up.
All right, and I got another thing now, you're worried about the outside condition. I've got the siding, setting for the house, it's paid for. I got $4,000 worth of 10.5-inch log siding, custom sawn, setting at the sawmill, and I need a place to set. And if I can't bring it up here and stack it, you know, I can't conceivably bring up 2 pieces at a time and put it on. It'll take me till, you know, I'm 200 years old in order to get any type of resolution or come close to completion on this project.
And those type of things, I would have them work it out with Jason and Dennis Hewitt on, you know, properly storing the material, and then again, so it's not just all over the yard. I think what you've done now is you've come in compliance, and if you are bringing more material, just do work with Jason and Dennis to make sure it's, you know, in an orderly fashion, and, you know, not there for extended periods of time, I think is a concern.
Well, that's the next thing, you don't do this type of custom handcrafted stuff overnight. This ain't vinyl siding that's gonna get slapped up in 3 hours by a crew of 40 guys. You know, I'm one man. I've been in construction all my life, from, you know, building cardboard shacks to $1 million condominiums. So I'm a master carpenter. I, you know, do the whole gamut. I've been doing this for 40 years per year. And the type of material and stuff that goes up inside, most of it's handcrafted, hand cut, each individual piece, including the siding that's going up on the outside. It has to be set, drawn, finished, set. Those logs that there that everybody's deeming as firewood, that's trim that will actually encompass, you know, interlock those windows. And stuff that's covered under the tarp there, that's the deck that was on the front part of the house that we removed in order to put the addition on and carry that around. That's going to extend around the back of the house. But I can't haul the stuff away and then haul it back today and then haul it back tomorrow, back and forth.
I would work closely with Jason and Dennis on that. Again, we know you're working on the project, but at the same point, it does need to be in orderly fashion, and, you know, for the neighborhood. So just continue to work with Dennis and Jason on that, so it doesn't get out of hand, I guess.
Okay, commissioners, any other questions? This is a public hearing, so again, if there's anybody in the audience that wishes to speak on 204 East Oak, now would be the time. Okay, I will close this public hearing, open the next public hearing to hear comments on light violation of 301 East Oak.
This particular case is a case where the person collects debris and basically fills his yard, and a lot of it is aluminum cans and aluminum things, but we've been, first notice went to this gentleman on February 16th, so we've been dealing with this for 8 months, trying to give him time to clean up and, you know, get everything straightened out. You know, there is one picture in the back here, it's hard to see, but the whole backyard is filled with debris.
Commissioners, any questions? Again, this is an open public hearing. If there's anybody who wishes to speak on this property at this time, now would be the time. Please step to the podium.
I'll come up here.
State your name.
Craig Miller, I live at 233 Stoke. When we moved here 10 years ago, pile of the hill was not there like it is today. Formerly, Ron would haul stuff away as he brought it in. Now most of what is brought in just stays there. I think that if he wants to do that, it should be done in an industrial area. This is a residential area. He tries to hide his stuff with tents, tarps, and makeshift fences. When we get visitors to our home, they always ask us, what's up there? And they're looking up at his yard. What is that? When the city implemented recycling dumpsters, it seemed like the pile became larger very quickly. So maybe there should be an ordinance that makes it illegal to remove things from these recycling dumpsters. Anyway, I think that this yard looks like a landfill or scrapyard, and it's degrading the entire neighborhood. This issue should have been taken care of many years ago. So that's all I have to say.
Thank you. Anybody else? State your name.
There's a garden pump. We've got 234 East Oak, right down the street from here. When you look at this place on Google Earth, you see a big pile of garbage. It's a residential neighborhood, got animals up there. I go to work, I get up at 3 o'clock in the morning, I let my dogs out, they go crazy because there's animals up there. You know, there's nothing that's like garbage up there but cans and beer, whatever. There's animals in it. There's skunks. I see skunks up there all the time. The other night, there was something a lot bigger than a skunk because it was up on the top of the hill where all the cans are in bags up there, like a person walking around up there. That's a danger to the neighborhood. There's a lot of kids up there. We need to clean this. Thank you.
Anybody else with a comment?
My name is Tom Jackwood. I live at 2360 East Oak, which is about a half block down the street from that site. As was stated, he was apparently cited the first time in February. And in reading the blight ordinance, supposedly he has there's three levels. Have all three levels has he been cited at all three levels? I'd like to know that. And if not, he has?
Yes.
So how long can we reasonably expect before people clean this mess up? It's been there forever.
This is the third part of the process that takes 3 parts to finish up, so.
And from what I read, his maximum fine would only be $500 plus a $150 administrative fee. That would be the maximum he'd ever get. Or can he be cited or fined repeatedly?
The fines go to a certain point, and then with this public hearing, if the commission authorizes, we will actually take city forces and mobilize to the site and clean the site.
And then he will be billed.
And then he will be billed after that cost.
So how long can we expect before that would happen?
If authorization goes forward tonight, we would mobilize and work, it'll probably be a few weeks to, up to a few weeks, maybe a week or two, to get out there. And
Because by the wording of that, notice that we were given, he was supposed to have that cleaned up by this date.
Right,
He
right.
has not. In fact, he's been bringing more stuff up there. So he has been taking some away, but he brings more in than he takes away.
Thank you.
So again, we would just like this taken care of. Thank you.
Any other folks on this property?
I just like to say, these pictures here really don't show the whole scope of what goes on there. I mean, from my yard, if you came to my yard, you would see the fake fences that he has and the piles of it coming over the fence. From the street, you can't see it, but from my yard, you can. So if you need to come and take a look, be free to decide, be free. You're welcome.
Any other comments on 301 East Coast? We will close that public hearing and open the next public hearing to be a comment on blight violation of 319 Elwood.
This public hearing is for a property at 319 Ironwood Street. The first notice went to this property in May. They have removed some vehicles from there, but there's still a lot of stuff scattered throughout the yard. They've had 5 months to comply, and we've seen slight progress with a couple of cars being moved, but it's still a bunch of debris scattered throughout. You can see it from basically all sides: Hemlock Street, Second Street, Albany Street. So it's a very visible location.
Commissioners, any more questions on this?
Well, we have a letter here from the owner explaining some extenuating circumstances perhaps. Have you been dealing with this person?
No,
This is the first time? Okay, but you haven't seen the letter?
I have not seen it already.
The letter did come to public safety and then was forwarded on to the city commission.
So he purchased the home just last year, December 2012. Did he,
I believe he was buying it on land contract, because we've had issues in the past. I know I've spoken with Commissioner Coward about the property in the past, also this exact concern.
The house is not in the best of shape. And there was a lot of stuff in the yard. I looked at it last year. But I have not looked at it recently, so I don't know if it's been cleaned up at all.
There has been some progress, but there's still a lot that could be done.
And these pictures are current as of today.
These are today's pictures, yes.
Any other questions, commissioners? This is a public hearing. If there's anybody in the audience that wishes to speak on 319 Albany Street, you can keep it on there. our regular meeting, call to order, please raise the
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Item B, recording of the roll.
All present.
Item C, approval of the consent agenda. And it's my understanding that item C4 needs to have a time change to from 5:25 to 6:25. And as I look at C4, I have a question about the zoning board of appeals. This is to hear request for a variance of a rear yard setback on 0 East Peter Street. Are we going to postpone any more variances pending the restructure of, we talked about a couple meetings back?
We discussed that we should at least revisit our zoning ordinance. So I'm not too sure, is this the property of Eric Finney's
Yes. Yes.
storage building?
This is the Ironwood storage building facility.
In the nature of the discussion we've already had about this, I think that we should move forward and a separate issue.
All right, so consent agenda needs to be changed to have C4 reflect a time of 6:25.
I'll make the motion to approve the consent agenda as amended.
Motion by Commissioner Towers, second by Commissioner Shackelford to approve the consent agenda as amended. Are there any further discussions or concerns? Roll call.
Mayor.
Yes.
Simo.
Yes.
Shackelford. Yes. Tower.
Yes.
Yes. Approval of the agenda. It's my understanding that we need to add item L1. L1 would reflect, discuss and consider authorizing the removal of the ticket box down at the Ironwood Theater.
I make the motion we approve the agenda as amended.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Semo, second by Commissioner Gare to approve the agenda as amended. Any further discussion or concerns? All those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Item E, citizens wishing to address the commission on items on the agenda. 3-minute limit, please. If you're able, please approach the podium and state your name. Public comment at this time. Okay. Takes us to old business. Item F, discuss and consider action on blighted property on the 124 North Lake Street. So you've seen the pictures, you've heard the comments. 124 seems to be a chronic condition. Commissioners, do you have a preference?
What is our suggested action that we would take?
To authorize remediation or cleanup of the blighted property. If that were to take place, then we would mobilize city forces with equipment to go in there and actually remove the debris from the property.
I'll make a motion that we direct city staff to take appropriate action to mediate the blight.
Do we need a date at all, or is that?
We're going to look at each one of these, with our DPW crew, and, put it into a schedule. So we want to get it done, we will get done this fall yet, before snow season. I'm going to say within the next 2 weeks, we will teach these properties that you give us authorization and get moving that.
I'll second that.
Motion by Commissioner Semo, second by Commissioner Howard, to authorize the city to take action on cleanup at property 124 North Lake Street. Are there any further discussion or concerns to add?
Other than that, this is a chronic problem, and I think we should do everything we can to deal with it.
Absolutely. Roll call?
Simo.
Yes.
Shackelford.
Yes.
Tower.
Yes.
Care.
Yes.
Corcoran.
Yes. Item G, discuss and consider action on blighted property 204 East Oak Street. Oak Street, we've heard comments. It appears that we've in compliance or making progress, things that we're in good shape. Commissioners, do you have a particular path? Do you feel that this is being handled appropriately at this time?
I I've seen this property a lot. My sister just recently moved away from right across the street. This is the best I've seen it in a long, long time. And I think that if the owner continues to keep it nice like this, that I think he's doing a good
And
job.
then to continue working with Dennis as well as to be in compliance. So no action. Item H, discuss and consider action on the blight property on 301 East Oak Street. This is the one we comment on, there seems to be a lot of cans, debris, that's going to keep coming and going and more. I have nothing actually. This person got to about 3 levels. I feel that we really need to take action on this.
I'll make a motion that we direct city staff to take appropriate action to mediate the blight at 301 East Oak.
Second that. Motion by Commissioner Seymour, second by Commissioner Shackelford to authorize the city to take action on property at 301 East Oak Street to remove. Any further discussion or concerns?
Feels like a balloon and it's expanding. I just looked at it today and I feel like it's just about ready to pop.
Can I do a roll call on this one too?
Shackelford?
Yes.
Tower?
Yes.
Care?
Yes.
Seymour?
Yes.
Corcoran?
Yes. Item I, discuss and consider action on blighted property on 319 Elvin Street. We have some debris in this one, we have the letter. Commissioner, what are your thoughts on this one?
In view of the letter that we received, and I did go by there today, and it didn't look as bad as some of the other properties, and there has been some progress made. I would like to give this person a little leeway of, say, I don't know too long because we're getting towards winter, but 2 weeks to show some kind of progress the next meeting. Is that a fair thing?
We can revisit it then, is that?
Do you want a direct authorization for staff to go in after 2 weeks, or do you want to come back to the city commission at the next meeting?
This is a question for you. Is 2 weeks enough time to discuss this with the owner and see if there's some grounds for working with her?
We've had many months working with the property owner, for cleanup. We have not complied yet. They have indicated they had some health issues.
Right.
Again, whether or not that would preclude them from getting help or getting someone to help them clean up, I guess is subjective, and that's why we have the come to city commission on some of these. My recommendation would be with the weather attorney to keep things moving. If you wanted to give them another 2 weeks, I guess my recommendation would be to authorize us to come in after a 2-week period, if that was your wishes, with the cleanup. Otherwise, we can bring it back to the city commission in 2 weeks if you wanted to review this one closer.
It sounds like you guys have a lot on your plate anyways for the next 2 weeks with the white cleanup. With the other properties we've authorized already. I think 2 weeks, just to give her a little bit more time is reasonable.
I agree. I'll make a motion, we revisit this in 2 weeks.
We'll bring it back at the next city commission meeting.
You want that motion?
Yes.
I'll second.
Motion by Commissioner Seymour, second by Commissioner Tower to have the property at 319 Elgin Street readdressed within 2 weeks. The next commission meeting. Any further discussion or concerns? All those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Item J, discuss and consider approving ordinance 49805, amending the code of the city of Ironwood by adopting the Uniform Traffic Code and the Motor Carrier Safety Act of 1963.
Okay, I touched on this last week. Basically what this is rather than redo our ordinances, each year we'll just adopt a motor vehicle code that's put out by the state each year, so we'll provide the chairman with the book so it's on hand. We had no motor carrier laws in our ordinance, and now by implementing our motor carrier program, we'll also implement the same as motor carrier, or the uniform traffic code. So those will be updated each year through the adoption of the book. Any questions?
a motion, we approve ordinance number 498 as described in item K.
I second that.
Motion by Commissioner Seymour, second by Commissioner Shackelford to approve ordinance 498 as moved in item J. Any further discussion or concern? Roll call.
Tower.
Yes.
Care.
Yes.
Seymour.
Yes.
Shackelford.
Yes.
Corcoran.
Yes. Item K, discuss and consider authorize advertisement for capital improvement for the city center building.
Thank you. The last meeting, we talked about a number of grants that the downtown art place will be applying for to do some improvements to the building and the city center that they're located in. As part of that grant process, they have the opportunity to get a $15,000 credit for these improvements through a program through local energy company. However, in order to get that credit, they need to have all the improvements completed by December 31st of this year. And in order to do that, we want to get the process going so that they have enough time to get those improvements done. So we're asking for advertisement to bid for that project. The DAP won't know if they'll get the grant until mid-November, so they'll be on a time crunch, but we wanted to get the advertisement out, get the bids in so that we're ready when they hear about the grant, that we can come back to you right away and award a bid. If you have questions, I can answer those.
Is there any way that we would be on the hook for this? Is this a formality in the application, or is it intentional that they would get this grant?
We don't know. So all you're doing is authorizing to go out to bid. We'll accept bids, but you don't have to actually act on a bid or award a bid. That's standard language in the contract, bid document. So if the applicant did not get the grants, you're not obligated to award a bid. And this money is all money that's coming from the DAP. There's no city funds involved with this. It's all money from the DAP that they're requiring.
Make a motion to authorize advertisement for bid for capital improvement HVAC improvements for the city center building.
Motion by Commissioner Shackelford, second by Commissioner Kaya to authorize the advertisement to bid for capital improvement HVAC for the city center building. Any further discussion or concerns? All those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. New business. Item L, discuss and consider declaring surplus 2C vehicle and authorizing advertising to bid for a 1997 Jeep Cherokee, minimum bid $750, and a 1997 Pontiac Grand Am, minimum bid $250.
As you see, those are two vehicles that were seized by Giant through their hard efforts. They have no use for them. I want to say that they're in rough shape, but they're older vehicles. And they will put those out for bid, and being that it is a seized vehicle, any funds would have to go back into the
Any further questions, concerns?
I'll make the motion to declare the surplus property as described.
Second that. Motion by Commissioner Towers, second by Commissioner Shackelford to declare surplus 2C vehicles as described in item L. Any further discussion or concerns? All those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Item L1, discuss and consider authorizing removal of a ticket box down at Ironwood Theater.
The city received a request from Bruce Greenhill, the manager of the historic Ironwood Theater. They are continuing, they do ongoing renovations down there. They've done a very excellent job of getting that building put back into its original state. One of the things they would like to do as you walk in the entrance, there's an old ticket box there that was put in the 60s or 70s. They would like to dismantle that, create more of a better access through that opening into the theater and indirectly into the DAP building also. So again, the building is owned by the city, the concourse is owned by the city, so they have to get back to the city commission for authorization to do that.
This is a letter here stating that not with much use, and probably better over the area.
Right, and better for access, better for handicap access into the theater.
I make a motion to authorize the removal of the ticket box in the historic Ironwood theater.
Motion by Commissioner Shackelford, second by Commissioner Tower to authorize the removal of ticket box count at the Ironwood Theater. Any further discussion or concerns?
The only big question that I have is there a way that we can give them more control over this so that they don't have to come to us for improvements to that area? Or is it desirable for us to have control over that? Correct.
It's, again, this is kind of a small issue. I guess the concern, I guess, when they put that agreement together was just to make sure that things were okay with the city commission as changes were made, because it is a city-owned building. Obviously, they've done a very good job of being custodians of the building. So it's really the commission, if you want, we'd have to change the agreement with them and have some other process that would give them a little more authority to make these changes without coming to the city. So that would be something that we wanted to consider for the future when we talk about it and get that agreement.
Well, it's probably not something that'll come around a lot, so
Right.
maybe not worth the hassle.
See how they work to involved.
It's a check and balance, just to make sure, and then make you aware of what's going on also.
Okay, we have a motion by Shackelford and a second by Commissioner Tower. Any further discussion or concerns? All those in favor, aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Item M, discuss and consider sale of city-owned property located at west of Hazel Street and north of East Hager Street, parcel 52-23276-010 to Ottawa Forest Products in the amount of $2,000 per acre.
All right, thank you. At the last meeting, we had this property purchase request from two different parties. Mr. Eric Fitting, who owns the Hobby Wheel storage just adjacent to this property, as well as Ottawa Forest Products. At the time, we had a number of different parties that reviewed the request and had different opinions on the matter. City Commission instructed staff to work with the two people that were requesting it further. Subsequently, that same week, we met with both parties. Ottawa Forest Products presented a first right of refusal, first option letter that the city had guaranteed them back in 2003. So at that point, it was clear that the Ottawa Forest Products has the first right to this property. So therefore, staff is recommending that the property be sold to Ottawa Forest Product with the condition that it is purchased by November 11th. At that time, if it's not purchased by November 11th, the city should then sell the property to Eric Fitting for his needs, for his expansion purposes. So we've put together a motion in the memo, kind of outline those different items. So if you agree with those recommendations, if you want to use that as your guide, the reason for the timeline is to make sure that Ottawa does indeed purchase the property and doesn't just let it sit there because Eric Fitting is interested in purchasing the property and has a use for it right away. Ottawa is a long-term use. They don't have plans to develop it at this point. So we just want to make sure that it is purchased, it's gotten into private hands, and it is developed in the near future. We have given the necessary paperwork to Ottawa to fill out to start the sale and the deed process. And they have indicated that they will purchase it, but we'd still like to have that time limit put in there just to keep them honest.
So that letter giving them first right of refusal was in 2003?
Yes, by the city manager at the time, Johnson.
There was no time frame?
No.
Declared at all?
Typically there is, but in this case there was no time limit on that option.
I was there last week with the visitor, and so as soon as we approved it, they're probably purchased right away.
Yeah, that's what the owner informed me is, once you guys authorize it, he would bring the paperwork and the check and get the process started.
So just for Mr. Fitting, from his point of view, this puts him in the situation of needing to get the variance.
Correct.
To be able to proceed at that point.
Right. So pending your decision tonight, I will move forward with making the necessary arrangements for the variance, which you've already approved earlier this evening. Hold it over here.
This whole thing leaves a bad taste in my mouth, honestly. Ottawa had 10 years to purchase this land and they did nothing with it until Eric decided that he wanted to do something with the land. And now all of a sudden they want to purchase it. And now we have a letter miraculously produced that says we have to sell to them. I hadn't seen the letter, so it wasn't.
Yeah, I apologize. It was supposed to be in the packet, but somehow it didn't get in there. But if you like, I can send you a copy.
Maybe add a little history. It wasn't too many years ago, there were actually 2 houses on that property. So, again, we went through a process of cleaning those houses up, declaring them blighted. And that was in the last couple of years. So, even though the letter was out there longer than that, the practicality of transferring ownership probably only came about in the last couple of years, with those houses being removed. And this probably just spurred that, further discussion.
Would you say that Mr. Fitting is comfortable with this arrangement were he to get his variance?
Yes, I mean, he's, just talking with him, he's pretty easygoing on the matter. He said if the city's willing and is able to sell the property, he would purchase it. If not, then he'll, use the other avenue of the variance to try to develop the remainder of his property. Yeah, obviously, his preference is to purchase the city property for future expansion needs.
Kind of with Commissioner Cowler, in that it's kind of ironic that this first right of refusal comes forward after 10 years and an open-ended deal. That being said, what is in the best interest of the city? Just to sell the land and get it on the tax roll. Either way would work for us.
I remember with Ottawa, I think, again, talking to the owner, the idea for them is to expand. Hopefully, they're looking at probably jobs tied to those. Hopefully, we don't know that for a fact, but, as their expansion with land occur. So the potential for additional jobs in addition to selling the property is, at least what the IADC, saw it as, an additional advantage to the city versus, selling it for storage, which is still a good improvement out there. It doesn't tie back directly to jobs.
Now, looking backwards, did the IIDC recommend selling to Ottawa?
Yes.
And it is in part of the industrial.
Correct. So the proceeds of the sale will go to the IIDC.
I'll make a motion we approve the sale to Ottawa Forest Products.
I second that.
You want to set a time frame on the purchase?
Oh, yes, with the time frame that's described in the handout.
Is it November 11th?
November 11th.
Okay, motion by Commissioner Seymour, second by Commissioner Shackelford to approve the sale of the city-owned property located east of East Street, north of West Ayer, parcel 52-23-276-210 to Iowa Forest Products, 2,000 per acre by November 11. If the sale fails to go through, that Eric Trading will be able to purchase said parcel. All right. Any further discussions or concerns?
Under protest. Yes, I know.
Well, I'll just say that, given that letter, that actually makes me more comfortable with it, because that kind of indicates that they've been interested in that property, and it does, it's a process, so they came forward when they knew that it was going to be sold, but they didn't take it, so I didn't understand.
Trying to create a win-win situation again with the letter and the recommendation, so. And we vote.
Gager.
Yes.
Seymour.
Yes.
Shackford.
Yes.
Tower.
Yes.
Corcoran.
Yes. Item N, discuss and consider authorizing advertisement to bid for 17 sets of fire turnout gear for the IPSC fire.
Okay, back in June, our department received a grant from an AFL grant for turnout gear. This grant was written by Dr. Brandon Snyder. Our expectation is 5%, so this was a budgeted item coming into this year. So we're just looking for your approval to start the process to go over bids.
Sounds like a good deal. I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Motion by Commissioner Tower, second by Commissioner Seymour to authorize advertisement to bid for 17 sets of fire turnout gear and public safety fire day. Any further discussion or concerns? All those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. Item O, discuss and consider approval of updated permanent traffic control orders north of Logan Drive.
Okay, one of the things when I took over was our traffic control order book is about this big, it's about 30, 40 years old, and there's some conflicting traffic control orders in there. We're trying to streamline it, we're getting Jason to make some maps also. I thought I had to drive, or various officers in the department drove and checked, make sure every stop sign was there. So these are just for the stop sign placements. We did have some yield signs that were converted to stop signs. This is just north side, we're going to do the whole city, it's just going to probably take us a year. The next step is going to be the north side, is the north park. So what we're looking for this time is just the traffic controllers for stop signs on the side. All the yield signs have been eliminated.
So we're not adding any signs, just kind of an update.
Just updating and converted, I believe there was 3 or 4 yield signs by the Darby Street, correct, Jason? Or Darby Street, was it, that's yield signs? Hibbert, Darby and Hibbert, that area had 3 yield signs that were in there.
So no major changes, just.
No major changes, just update, trying to streamline, clean things up a little bit.
I'll make a motion we approve the traffic control orders described in item O.
Motion by Commissioner Semo, second by Commissioner Shackelford to approve the updated permanent traffic control orders north of Logan Drive. Any further discussion or concerns? All those in favor, aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Item P, consider approval of partial payment number 1 in the amount of $263,380.23 to Arena Systems for the Paddle Down Ice Skating Arena 4.
Yeah, this is their first progress payment. They had a big concrete pour, actually a couple weeks ago now. And this will be the first progress payment. They have some additional mechanical work to get done. They're anticipating hopefully the first sheet of ice to go on around the Halloween timeframe. And my understanding is she's on track to hopefully achieve that.
I'll make a motion that we approve the partial payment number 1 as described in item P.
Second that. Motion by Commissioner Semo, second by Commissioner Shackelford to approve the partial payment number 1 as noted in item P. Any further discussion or concerns? Roll call.
Semo.
Yes.
Shackelford.
Yes.
Tower.
Yes.
Gayer.
Yes.
Corcoran.
Yes. Item Q, consider approval of pay package number 1 for Angelo Rapino in the amount of $11,664 for the remodeling of the Social Security office.
Again, this is their first payment too. Pino is the contractor that is doing the work just next door to us. Social Security will be relocating their office into this building. And again, it's coming along very well. And they anticipate hopefully getting done within the next week with that work. And Social Security, sometime down the road, relocating into this facility.
That's nice.
Now, is it correct that Social Security will reimburse us for the cost of the
Good
improvement?
point. Yeah, we do get fully reimbursed for these costs from Social Security. Yes.
Makes it a lot easier to spend that money.
Right.
I'll make a motion we approve the pay package described in item Q.
Second that.
Motion by Commissioner Semo, second by Commissioner Shackelford to approve the pay package number 1 as noted in item Q. Any further discussion or concerns?
What happened to the federal government to reopen?
Roll call.
Shackelford.
Yes.
Tower.
Yes.
Gayer.
Yes.
Semo.
Yes.
Corcoran.
Yes. Item R, discuss and consider authorizing advertising to bid for the removal and replacement of damaged exterior walls at Paddle Down Civic Center insurance claim.
There's been an ongoing problem with the Civic Center. The ice comes off of that metal roof, hits the side. There's some berms that are, dirt berms that are up along the building. It hits that dirt berm and then lays up against the walls of the Civic Center, which are metal also. And it buckles those walls. That's happened this past spring. We did submit it to insurance. We have agreed to pay for the cost of repairing that. And we did this probably less than 5 years ago. Same thing happened. The Civic Center Board is discussing this. We're anticipating that this would be work that we do next spring. They are looking at what they can do with the berms over there. They do have to lower those berms. So again, that snow is going to come off, but they do get a place for that snow to go. So with this, it would just authorize us to start moving forward, putting plans together, that type of thing for next spring.
It's his ongoing problems over
Right.
the work and sometimes solutions.
The board just wanted, at the last meeting, wanted to get it all set up so that in the spring, whenever repairs came in, there's really no sense of fixing it right now because if it damages, where, yeah, those roofs get removed.
I'll make a motion, we authorize the bid, advertisement for bids described in item R.
Second that. Motion by Commissioner Seymour, second by Commissioner Shackelford, authorize advertising for bid as noted in item R. Any further discussion or concerns? All those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Item S, discuss and consider awarding the bid for 3,500 ton of 22A road gravel.
Again, about every 2 years, we go out and replenish our stockpiles. This is road gravel that we use for road repairs, water main breaks, that type of thing. And it should last us about 2 years, depending on how much activity we have. We did receive 5 bids. The low bidder was Northwoods Paving at $6.79 a ton. And we are recommending the award to them.
I'll make a motion, we award the bid to Northwoods Paving as described in item S.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner motion by Commissioner Seymour, second by Commissioner Towns to award the bid to Northland Paving for $23,765 for the 22A road gravel. Any further discussion or concerns? Roll call.
Tower.
Yes.
Care.
Yes.
Seymour.
Yes.
Shackelford.
Yes.
Corcoran.
Yes. Item T, discuss and consider awarding the bid for 4,000 ton of Winter Street sand.
Again, about every 2 years, we do look at replenishing our supplies. And we did get 3 bids for this, provide this material for the city. As you see, we have 3 bids. Actually, the low bidder did not provide a bid bond, so we have to we reject that bid. And the next bidder is Jake's Excavating at $7.38 a ton, and would recommend awarding to Jake's in that amount.
I'll make a motion, we award the bid to Jake's Excavating for the sand described in item T.
Second that?
Motion by Commissioner Seymour, second by Commissioner Shackelford to award the bid to Jake's Excavating as noted in item T. Any further discussion or concerns? Roll call.
Care.
Yes.
Seymour.
Yes.
Shackelford.
Yes.
Tower.
Yes.
Corcoran.
Yes. Item U, discuss and consider granting a request for a special event water rate for the 2014 Snowmobile Olympics to be held January 3rd through 12th, 2014.
We have representatives from the organization here. And we want to give an update to the commission on what they're doing and what's going on.
Good. This year we're holding 2 races. The first one is the same vintage race that we've had in the past. It'll be January 3rd, 4th, and 5th. And then the following weekend, on the 11th and the 12th, is going to be a USSA sanctioned race, which is the pro guys. So basically, should be bringing a lot of people in town.
It's been growing. It's a nice event to get a lot of people out there. What's going on?
The USSA race will be a big one.
Appreciate you guys doing that.
It's going to be a crazy weekend. Now that second one is also Sicily weekend.
That's a good thing.
It's really something.
More than good.
I'll make a motion that we approve the water rate as described in item U.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Seymour, second by Commissioner Tower to approve the special water rate as noted in item U. Any further discussion or concerns? Roll call.
Seymour.
Yes.
Shackelford.
Yes.
Tower.
Yes.
Care.
Yes.
Corcoran.
Yes. Item B, discuss and consider a memorandum of agreement between the City of Ironwood and the Western Youth Free Substance Abuse Services Coordinating Agency for continued participation in the Employee Assistance Program.
This is the annual contract that we have with this organization. Again, they provide assistance for employees if they have certain things that they need to talk to somebody about, whether it be financial or other personal issues. It's a good resource to have available, and we are recommending extending the contract with them for another year. It's fairly low in cost, all in roughly $700. We do budget for that every year.
Motion by Commissioner Semo, second by Commissioner Schaffner to approve the memorandum of agreement as noted in item B. Any further discussion or concerns? Roll call.
Shackelford,
Yes?
Tower,
Yes.
Care,
Yes.
Semo,
Yes.
Bergen.
Yes. Item W, discuss and consider approving snowmobile map for the 2013-14 season.
I believe everyone should have one in their packet. Basically, all the roads are open except the restricted roads that are identified in red. We did add some recommended trail access roads, just to give people an idea which roads to use, but all the roads are open. One major change is the trail is going to be open from Lake Street from the trail to Holiday Gas Station. Two reasons for that is there is no written agreement with Holiday Gas Station accessing that trail from the back side of the trail. And the second part of that is with the non-motorized trail going in, it kind of creates a safety issue if we do cross the motorized with the non-motorized at that point right there. So we felt it would be safest to have them go down Lake Road. Is there any questions?
Are we gonna sign it so that people know that that's?
We're gonna sign it, talk to the property owners, because there are some property owners there that have complained each year. Our goal is to keep them on the road, keep them on the yard. So with proper signage and enforcement, we believe we can do that. And this is the best option that the snowmobile committee felt would work. So.
Well, I'm happy to hear that, because I was looking at the map and it looked like it was still red there, so. You might want to clarify that on the map. That
It's not red. It's-
isn't it red from the trail? Oh, never mind that. My bad. I thought that was good too, that. Trail through that.
And the other one change too, I forgot to mention, a smaller change was on Lawrence Street, we closed that trail access coming off the trail. We felt that that's, again, a safety issue, and the depot park is less than 200 yards down the trail to access the other businesses. So that was the only other change. The Lake Street one was a big change.
So public safety's on board, snowmobile group's on board.
Yeah, we met at, I think, the end of September. We're trying to get a jump on this and have the map out here in November so that once the snowmobilers start coming to the area, and not that I want winter to come, I want a little bit more fall, but we want to get ahead of the game and have the information out there so that everyone's aware of the rules that are in place.
I'll make a motion, we approve the snowmobile map as presented.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Semo, second by Commissioner Tower to approve the snowmobile map for the 2013-14 season as presented. Any further discussion or concerns? All those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. That takes us to item X, manager's report.
Just a few items to update the commission on. Just is probably aware, the city water department is conducting their fall flushing this week. Started last night, they'll go through Thursday. And the idea is to flush it twice a year and clean out the water system. And we'll do that on an annual basis, but there will be some dirty water over the week. Notices did go up loud, but I think to the radios and newspaper, so hopefully people are aware of that. They also are going to follow up in a couple weeks with some additional water flow testing, so we're not done yet with spraying up the system. Hopefully the system will be fairly clean, but they're going to do some flow testing. They're looking at our ISO fire rating, trying to improve on that. So again, the public safety and our water department will be doing some additional hydrant checks over the next few weeks. We have elections coming up, talking with Karen in the city clerk's office. Again, it's gearing up for that. The election is November 5th. They're going to be having a open office here for absentee voter ballots on November 2nd from 10 to 2 p.m. So just make people aware of that. We'd also like to welcome back Mr. Bob Richards. He was on a leave of absence and is back with us. He's in the back row back there, Bob. Sure. All right. So we're restructuring the organization back a little bit to where we were, before as the lead, but it's nice to have Bob back. And Jason did a real nice job in the interim as Bob was out of the office. Just a plug for the downtown art place. Again, they're open for business. Only anything to add. I know they're open Thursdays, Fridays, Saturdays.
Thursdays, Fridays, and Saturdays from 11 to 5.
Okay.
And also there's classes for children Friday evenings, 4 to 5:30.
Very good. So they're very active down there. Go in and take a look. They've done some great things with that building, and they've got a real nice operation going down there. So. Kind of in line with that, one of the artists down there, one of the people that have reserved or rented the space as part of that group, part of that GAP group, is Mara McCabe. And you've probably seen in the newspaper, they have applied for it's not a grant per se, but it's getting a Smithsonian exhibit to come to the area. And we're one of 2 communities that they're looking at to bring that exhibit to. There's been a lot of effort through GAP, through Mara, and other volunteers to really showcase Ironwood for that. It really is a big opportunity if we do get that here. We can bring a lot of people to the area to look at that, and a real nice recognition of our area and what's going on. So on October 22nd, the representative comes in and kind of reviews the area and looks at where the right, a good spot to have that presented. We hope that we prevail in that.
When will we know?
I guess I'm not sure exactly how long it takes to get that. Good question. We'll find out and let you guys know. Coleman Engineering, they're working very diligently on the next phase of water and sewer projects. So we do have US 2 moving forward, the first phase. They're designing the water and sewer, and DOT is designing that first phase of construction. And that is on board for, on schedule for construction in 2014. Coleman is also working on the next phase of our residential water and sewer projects too, which is north of US 2 and west of Kmart Plaza. That'll be a separate project, bid out separately. That's currently under design, and we'll be bidding that out for spring for construction in 2014. Anything to add to that, Mike?
No.
Very good.
It also includes a few blocks up in Jessville that were not budgeted in our phase 2. So they're part of not just the north.
Okay.
So there's probably 7 or 8 blocks up there, as I recall.
Very good. Just a small little project, but they all add up. DPW, if you haven't noticed, we have the parking lot next to the building. We've been pointing in the right direction over here. They had an old landscape garden that was in disrepair. We had a church come in and excavate that out, and DPW came in and put some landscape rock in there, a couple of trees, and it really turned out nice. All those little things, kind of add up to a nice overall perspective of the community. So I want to thank them for their efforts and doing a very nice job on that. We're still working with FEMA. We had a flood this spring. Again, it's been many months, but they're still in town, working with us and other communities that were affected by them. We're coming to, I think, a final conclusion on giving them all the information and hopefully getting some funding back from them for some of the costs we experienced during the spring flood. We have our City Commission had approved a contract with a logger to come in and do another timber sale on the Big Spring Bellfield. We've been working with him, and Marion True is our volunteer resident forester that helps us through this project, with these type of projects. And we're expecting that will start probably later this week. Within the next week, he's looking at mobilizing it and starting that timber sale. Staff, we are also working on our project, the trail construction through town. The first phase of the multi-phase regional trail that'll go from Ironwood to Wakefield. And again, we'll be working on the design of that. We actually went over to Ashland over the weekend and did a tour. They have a real nice trail system over there, but that's some of the amenities they have. And we'll be working on it over the next few months and getting that project put together, get it ready for bid so we can start that in the spring. Over on 213 Bonnie Street, that's a structure that was condemned here a few weeks back. It's been through the environmental review process. There's a time frame where they can't do anything. They have to submit that information to the state. They can start doing the environmental remediation on October 22nd. It's, I'll call it fairly minor, Dennis, asbestos removal with some of the piping.
Yeah, just in the basement, yeah, piping.
So within what we expected, nothing outside the ordinary. That was an unknown that we weren't sure of, so that is within the scope of what we anticipated or were thinking would occur. And then shortly after that, within a few days after the 22nd, once they get that done, Jake's excavating to come in and then start the building demolition. So toward the end of the month, probably around October 24th, we should see the building start to come in. This coming weekend, Friday and Saturday, the Friends of the Library are going to have their annual book sale. So we want to encourage people to come out to participate in that. It's a nice fundraiser for the library. And again, that's Friday afternoon and Saturday morning, and it's here in the Memorial Building in the auditorium. Staff has set up a meeting with Excel Energy, again, talking about US2, the power lines on US2, trying to get those buried, the poles, trying to get some more aesthetically looking poles and wood poles. So we are meeting next week with Excel representatives. So again, if there's any commissioners, I'll send you out a note about the time and place, and if you're available to attend, it would be much appreciated.
Do you know what day?
Michael, remember the date?
Monday, the 21st at 1 at, here in the building.
So we've had a number of conversations with them, but we want to keep that going, find a way to hopefully make that happen. For Halloween now, there's going to be the first annual Ghouls Run at Midnight. So everybody's invited to participate in that. It's going to be a midnight run starting at the Memorial Building. They'll run through town and end up back at the Memorial Building. It's one of those quirky kind of runs that are, kind of fun in the community. Hopefully we get a good number of participants, and it's also a good thing for the community to participate in just from a health standpoint, be more active and that type of thing. So hopefully the weather cooperates with us on that. Staff is going to be holding 2 public informational meetings. Coming up during the election, there's a question on the ballot whether the public would support the millage for street work. So we're going to have 2 public informational meetings. One will be this Wednesday, the 16th at 5 o'clock here in the building. Another will be Wednesday, October 30th, beginning at 5 o'clock in the building. And we're trying to get notice out to everybody in the community that has questions or is interested in that. It'll be a question and answer type of thing, trying to just inform the public on what it means, what it is, and vote the way they feel appropriate in November. So.
Would we be able to get that information on our website?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, we'll put it out there also. We're also working with a couple of very enthusiastic veterans that are runners in the community, and we want to try to put together a veterans run on November 9th. And it's going to be a volunteer type of thing, no cost involved, donations. Their idea is they want to recognize the Wounded Warriors program and do again a run walk on Saturday night. It's still just very preliminary in the works, but it's coming up here pretty fast. So we're working with them to help to pull that off. And again, the proceeds going to the Wounded Warriors program. So you'll see more information on that, more details. We're going to meet with them later this week to try to work through some of those details with them. But it's nice to see that activity, that volunteer effort in the community. An update on the city comprehensive deer management plan with the weather. The deer hunters haven't been too active out there. It's been a little too warm. But with the turning weather, they'll probably be out there a little more often. To date, at least from our records, we're showing 3 deer that have been taken to date. So numbers are fairly low. But again, I think the deer numbers are lower out there also. And last on the list, Halloween's coming. Trick or treat, Andrew, is set for
4:30 to 7.
Thursday, October 31st. So I think that information has gone out to the paper and the radios to let everybody aware of that. That's the end of my report.
Thank you. Item Y, other matters. Lynn? So welcome back to Bob and just around. Anything else? Okay. Item Z, citizens wishing to address the commission on items not on the agenda. 5-minute limit, please. If you're able, please approach the podium and state your name. I vote tonight. Okay. Item AA, adjournment. A second. Motion by Commissioner Stevens, second by Commissioner Beck, to adjourn the meeting.